and welcome to our very first episode of From the Ground Up on Blackout TV. I'm your host, Christina, and we are here to bring you closer to entrepreneurs and minority businesses in our community. I had the great experience of talking to one of the co-owners of the Salt Lounge in Long Beach. And I can't wait to share all of this with you. I had to know the inspiration of this beautiful, amazing space.
So this space was purely a manifestation of my wife and I. We were drawn to Long Beach. We lived in Las Vegas prior to this, and we would come to Long Beach, and every time we came to Long Beach, we felt recharged. We felt at home. We just felt good. And then we'd go back to our apartment in Vegas, and then all that would kind of wash away in a few weeks. And then we're like, I gotta go back to Long Beach. So my wife and I were like, you know what? There's something in California, there's something in Long Beach. We were scared to move out here because we thought it was too expensive, but we were like, you know what? We're gonna figure it out. And so we sold all our things, and we stayed on someone's couch. We stayed on my mother-in-law's couch, and we figured it out. And so it was one of those things where when we moved here to Long Beach, we set the intention on what we wanted. We wanted to start a business. How? I don't know, but that's what we wanted to do. And so we would intentionally walk around downtown Long Beach and verbally express what we wanted our space to look like. I would say, you know what, babe? I want our space to be on the corner. Because I was watching this documentary on Netflix, and in the documentary, the feng shui documentary, they said businesses on the corner do really well. And she was like, I need to have wood grain panels. I was like, I want to have succulents out front. And so we would just go back and forth, detail for detail. And literally, this space presented itself to us. And when it did, it was on this weird little website, just like a little random website that could have been a scam. We didn't know. But my wife was like, look at this building. Let's go check it out. I was like, all right, baby. I just got done working out. I was all sweaty and stuff. We come to the building, and our mouth dropped. And it just so happened to be the owner of the building was here that day. And so he was like, hey, you want to take a look inside? Mind you, I just got done working out, so I wasn't ready for meeting any business owners or anything. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. She had on flip-flops. Like, it wasn't anything like we were ready for. But, it's one of those things, like, you take one step and spirit will meet you one step. And so that's really what this journey has showed us. So when we saw this space, we fell in love with it. We didn't know how we would do it, but the opportunity presented itself again, and an investor was like, you know what, I love what you guys are doing, and I want to invest in your dream. And that's what sparked everything for us. Wow. But it was really a thing where it's like, okay, you want to do something, well, start putting the details together. That's what we had to do. We want to have a wellness space. What's this wellness space look like? Right. What's this wellness space feel like? What's the energy in this space? This was like a little checklist, so we had to really go through detail for detail. And it's wild how all worked out. But I think it's one of those things where when you're crystal clear on what it is that you want, the universe will meet you there. You know what I'm saying? Spirit will be like, okay, I see that order you put in. Let's get that to you. But when we switch it around a lot, okay, I want to live somewhere hot, and I want to live somewhere cold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, live somewhere in the middle. It's like, okay, new order after new order after new order. So just being crystal clear, and that's pretty much how we were able to manifest this space.
Being in business with your spouse has to be a unique experience. We asked Wes how they find a balance between work and home life. So were you and your wife like doing this separately before, and then like you got together and the Salt Lounge started to come into fruition, or?
So it's interesting. My wife and I, we were not doing this at all. Okay. We were working on ourselves prior to this. And so for us, it was really just working on ourselves. So I would work on myself. I would start doing breathing exercises and just little meditations. And my wife was doing the same on her part. And so we kind of came together with that interest. We both wanted to grow spiritually, and we both built a friendship. And it started with a spiritual base, I guess, background in a sense. But it was really just self-work. It was like, you know what, I'm just trying to work on myself right now. And she had the same interest. And like, oh, this could work out. And so that's kind of what sparked the whole thing for us. My wife and I wanted to create a space for people to be able to come, physically relax, mentally recharge, and just energetically level up. And so that was our goal. And what we wanted to do was create something that's fun, unique, and made people feel like they were, at home. I've been in health and wellness and spirituality for over 10 years, And my mission, my goal is really just to make this entire spiritual world understandable, digestible, and fun, because it really is fun when you learn the power of your energy and what you can create and draw in just based off of keeping yourself in alignment.
We talked about everything from how they started their business to what they're doing in the future. I cannot wait to share this experience with you. They have items from crystal-infused soaps all the way to jewelry. I mean, these people, they provide salt trap yoga. Who's ever heard of salt trap yoga? I haven't, but I'm gonna try their trap yoga soon. We also got to take a look at their salt room, where I got to tap into my inner child. Love this. What is this exactly that we're in right now?
So right now we are in a room that has 550 pounds of pure Himalayan salt.
Wow.
And the way it works is when you're in this room, as you're breathing in the ions, what it does is it softens the skin, softens the hair, but most importantly, reduces stress. With so many of us being stressed out and on high alert 24/7, we just need that space.
Yes.
And so that's what this room is. It's really whatever you want to make it. So if you want to come in with some friends and just have a discussion on like what's going on in your life, this is the spot. If you just want to disconnect from everyone and just kind of play in the salt and clear your head, this is your spot. If you need to just journal and write, or if you need to read, whatever you need the space to be, this is your spot. But by the time you come out, you feel more mentally clear, you feel more energetically upbeat, and you just feel vibrant. That's what we want to create.
I felt that as soon as I stepped on this. I was just like, oh, it feels so good. But I'm noticing there's like stones or crystal. What else is in the salt
So
here?
our Himalayan salt is crystal infused, and so what we have in here is we have different crystals. We have rose quartz, which is all about love, self-love, promoting love, because love is the highest vibrating energy. So when you got more love in your life, I mean, everything else just kind of works itself out. And then we also have clear quartz, and clear quartz is a really good starter crystal. This one is all about mental clarity. This one is all about raising your vibration, and this is just an all-purpose crystal. So clear quartz and rose quartz is what you'll find scattered throughout your salt room session.
Just amplifying what you're already feeling.
Yeah, just to amplify the energy in here, because when you come into here and you're in this space, this is your space. And so one of the things that we've learned through time is surrounding yourself around things that's going to help raise your vibration is only going to make your job easier. We spend so much time just buying things that don't add value to our energy. And that's where we got to make that shift. When you can just have things in your home or in your workspace that adds to your energy, adds to your vibration, that makes your day easier. It makes your life easier. And so we wanted to put that in the salt room.
When we went into the salt room, I mean, it put everything together. We got to see exactly how intentional this power couple really is. Every aspect of the Salt Lounge has been taken into account and was purposeful. Here's Wes talking about their intent.
So this actually was a journey in itself. My wife and I, when we first got married, we were living in Las Vegas, and we both had really cool Fortune 500 jobs. We lived on the Vegas Strip, we ate where we wanted, party where we wanted, it was all good. But on the inside, we felt empty. I mean, on the outside, I had my own parking spot, and I had all kind of rewards from my job, but on the inside, I just felt empty. I felt empty. So I remember one morning, I was putting on my work clothes, watching SportsCenter. My wife made me breakfast, and I just busted out crying. It wasn't like the food was bad. Like, she hooked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was amazing food. SportsCenter is always on point, but I just did not want to go back into a cage. I felt like I was in a cage. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel like my spirit was being filled, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, because on the outside I had it all. Fast forward, my wife and I decided to quit our jobs, sell everything, and go to Bali. Now, everyone thought we were nuts. Why would you do this? I even had my mom call me and say, Wes, did you win the lottery? You would tell me if you won the lottery, right? I said, Mom, I didn't win the lottery. I just can't do it. I need to get out of here. Like, I feel like I'm losing it. And so we sold everything, and we took a trip around the world, just backpacking, the two of us. And we started in Bali, and then we traveled throughout Asia, and then we went into Europe, and then Dubai and Mexico. So many different beautiful cultures, so many different beautiful ways of life. And the things that we learned traveling, you could not learn in any college course. You could not learn from any textbook. I mean, this was something that was new to me, new to her. But during this process, we learned how much we were living in excess. We learned how, like, things didn't make us happy. It wasn't items. It was experiences. It was connecting. It was purpose. And coming back to the States, which I didn't want to come back. Like, I remember my last day, we were leaving Italy, and we were in Sicily, and I cried. I'm telling you all these stories and me crying.
I was like, you said you didn't cry
I don't cry much. But I could count on my hand how many times I cried. But I cried because I didn't want to come back to the States. But I knew we had a mission here, and I knew we had to give back to our community. And so one of the things we wanted to do was we wanted to take everything we learned traveling the world, all the experiences we gained, and bring it back to our people. And so that's what inspired us. So every single inch of the Salt Lounge is intentional. Every single inch and piece of the Salt Lounge has a detail and has a meaning behind it. Because we learned through travel and through meeting other cultures and learning from different people that if you don't have purpose behind what you're doing, then you're wasting your energy. You're wasting your time. And so that's what inspired us to take it up a notch and crystal infuse our salt in the salt room.
I love it. I was like, that was a lot just for the crystals, but I mean, it isn't just the crystals. It literally is every piece of this place. You can feel it when you walk in. The energy is beautiful. When I came in here too, it's funny because it's almost like a cave, but it's like one of those caves where it's so refreshing. It's like you have waters running through it and you can like breathe again. So I really have enjoyed this space. Now, because I'm wondering if it's like, is it more feminine, do you find, or do you find that like you've got a lot of guys that come in here and use this room specifically, or just the Salt Lounge in general? That's interesting because it started off as mostly only women coming to the Salt Lounge. You know, guys, when it comes to spirituality and personal growth and yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was one of them until I was introduced to this, and I'm like, whoa, I can't live without it. But what's cool about this space is where we're located. We're right next to a barbershop in the cut. Levi's really cool. If you know anyone who needs a lineup, check them out. In the cut. In the cut, right. And so guys would come from the barbershop over here to the Salt Lounge, and they would drop in, yo, man, I heard you got soap in here. So yeah, let me show you some soap. You know, I show them some soap. And our soaps have crystals in them. They're all crystal infused. So for a lot of guys who aren't familiar with energy, they would try our soaps and they would feel their energy changing. They would find like little things happening to them that would only happen if their energy was right. And so they would come back to the Salt Lounge. Yo, man, I don't know what was in that soap. I need another one. And then tell me a little bit about this crystal over here, bro. So, you know, now we got a combo going. And so what's really cool is I would see the journey, and I still do. I see guys come in for the first time, and as they try the products, they start to then feel more comfortable. Then they start trying the services, and now they're finding different pockets of their life where they're like, you know what? This isn't adding to my energy. This isn't raising my vibration. Wow. Guys will come in, yo, man, I had to break up with my girlfriend because I realized it was toxic. You know, it was affecting my aura, bro. And these are the same fellas that wasn't even really looking for anything other than just a quick soap. And so what's cool about it is now I'm seeing all kinds of different people coming in. And I get excited seeing fellas come in because I just like seeing guys that look like me, you know. But they come in, they go into the salt room, they get a reading, they buy different products, and then they spread the word and have more fellas come. And I think that's what it takes, you know. But it only starts with word of mouth, and you have to feel good within yourself to recommend it to someone else. And so, yeah, it's been pretty cool. So I really can't wait to get back to the Salt Lounge and see Wes and his wife again. Honestly, you guys have to check this place out. For more information about how to check out the Salt Lounge and all the services they provide, stay tuned and check out Wes giving you all the information. Follow us on social media at Thesaltloungelb. You could check out our website, thesaltloungelb.com. If you want to tap in with us and you're not in California, we still got you covered. You can head over to Soulwork Academy. That's SOULWERK
academy.com. You can follow me personally. My Instagram is _King Wizard, _. My wife, hers is @DopenessDivine.
I'm your host, Christina. You can find me on Instagram at @TinaBaby53 or check out my blog, The Struggling Blacktress. Stay tuned for my girl Tila Shore, who talks to a celebrity makeup artist. I had an amazing time going into the life of a beauty industry mogul on the rise, Brandy Allen. When people think about a celebrity makeup artist, they think of lights, action, Hollywood. Paparazzi spots me in the lobby of my high-rise. I hide, my bad. I digress. But going back to Brandy Allen. Brandy Allen is a Los Angeles native. She's been in the game for 15 years, traveled the world, and has worked with celebrity clients such as Mary J. Blige, Sky Jackson, Keke Palmer, and countless others.
If we teach our kids the proper tools of education, that they will elevate into positions that are better than us.
Right.
So my after-school program is taking the Create education and putting it into LAUSD schools. In 2019, we were able to service 9 schools. And I was able to hire about 5 Black artists to go in and teach makeup.
Yes.
And it was really rewarding. It was really great. It was through my nonprofit, Artists Give Back, and I mean, the students loved it.
So what I learned from Brandy Allen is the many sacrifices she had to make, including missing out on some of her friends and family important milestones to pursue a career that demanded that she be ready and available at all times.
I've made a lot of sacrifices for my career. I will say that I missed out on family events, milestones, funerals, birthdays, weddings. I missed a lot chasing my dream and trying to be available for when is that job gonna come, or when is that opportunity gonna come, or who's gonna call me. And lately I realized that what keeps me afloat and keeps me being the best I could be in my career is being balanced. And it's being able to sacrifice, but allocating time to myself and having self-care and choosing like what's important in my life. But I have definitely sacrificed a lot. I've sacrificed positions to do my freelance work. I actually was offered a position in New York to work in the education part of a brand. And I couldn't because I was still chasing my dream, trying to work with people, hoping that Beyonce was going to call me one day. Still hasn't.
She's still going to call you.
But still hasn't. But yeah, you know, but the sacrifices are well worth it.
So for many, this is a dream job, to travel the world and do makeup. But Brandy Allen discusses her struggles being an up-and-coming makeup artist, as well as her struggles being a Black artist in this industry. You talked about this balance. I know you're a new mommy of a Cruz, my little baby Cruz. He's so adorable. How has he inspired you to like really move to the next level, or how has having a child motivated you?
You know, he is my biggest inspiration as far as no tolerance with certain things that I would tolerate before. I would jump on a plane, and you know this. I could get called like now and say, get on the plane in 2 hours. I would run home, pack my bag, get on the plane, go to a job. No questions asked. And it may not have been the best situation for me, but I did it just so I couldn't say no. Now it's like, no, I can't do that. Or, hey, can you work this job? It might be X amount of dollars. It's not realistic to what I deserve as a rate, but I'll still do it to make everyone happy. And now, like, I have to think of him. So everything is about him, from the jobs I choose to, you know, how I represent myself at work. Just everything is about, I got someone at home that's dependent on me. So that's actually, like, great. Like, it's really helped me mature as a woman, as an adult. You know, even with a lot of the stuff going on in the beauty industry and a lot of conversation we're having about being excluded as Black artists, being excluded as a Black woman, I feel like when I think of him, I think of, I need to put my child in private school or whatever school I put him in, it's gonna cost me.
Right.
The extracurricular activities he'll be doing is gonna cost me.
Right.
Putting him in college or whatever he decides to do, starting him a business, I need to make sure that I'm treated fairly, I'm getting the right rates, I'm doing everything for him.
Right.
So he is really opening up somebody that I wasn't before, that I was scared to be, that now I'm stepping into my own element and thinking about him and putting everything on the line. So Cruz, let me tell you something. If you ever try to say I didn't do something for you, just know everything has been for you.
Now, there's so many that want to be big time in the beauty industry, but you got to be willing to work hard, make sacrifices, and really figure out what sets you aside from the rest. See, Brandy has worked hard, and she's definitely paid her dues to be where she is in this industry. But she didn't stop there. She created an online makeup program, as well as created after-school programs for students in high school. So I want you to talk a little bit about Create, the school, and then I want you to talk about the after-school programs that you did through LAUSD.
Okay, so Create School is my beauty program where I teach advanced hair and makeup. And what birthed that idea was I was a creative director at another program, and I seen the void of education that a lot of students were kind of complaining about when they left one school. And I'm not talking about a particular school in general. When they left whatever school in Los Angeles, they would go into the work field and get no jobs.
Right.
They would be told that their technique wasn't good enough. They weren't professional enough. So I heard the cry, and I'm like, how can I reform education if I'm a part of a program wherever I go that I'm not confident in, that I'm not okay with what they're teaching or how they're going about things? How can I attach my name to that if it's not genuine?
Right.
So I decided to birth this idea because it was an outlet for me to be creative but also live in my purpose.
Right.
And my purpose was to educate other people and help them have a blueprint in getting where they need to be in the beauty industry. Whether it was TV film, whether it was celebrity, whether it's bridal, whether it's running a school, being a part of education. How can I set that tone and help them pave the way to where they're trying to go? And I personally know the struggle because I never had the luxury of assisting somebody that would help me get to where I need to be. I went through a lot of...
had any mentorship?
Not really. No, I've had conversations with people. I've asked for help, but I've never had someone that was my mentor saying, Brandy, do this, get your book like this. So it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of being poor. When I say poor, I mean, we were
struggling together.
Struggling after college.
Yeah.
So after being in debt from college and then chasing a career after that for maybe a good 4 years after that, just stressing, trying to figure out where I belong in the industry. So when I finally, I guess you could say, made it or got it, I was like, you know what, it should be my mission to help others not have to stress as hard. And when I was trying to get into the industry, there was no social media. So there was no Instagram, or I think Twitter was coming about, Facebook was just coming about. You couldn't market your work. You couldn't put the fireworks. That's PTSD from being from the hood. So you couldn't broadcast that you worked with X, Y, and Z. You couldn't go DM Rihanna and hope that she'll respond and hire you, which that happened. So we were mailing our books. We were cold calling, cold emailing to try to get jobs, trying to befriend whoever we could. And you still have to befriend people, but it was just 10 times harder. There was no online presence.
Yeah.
So now that I see that obviously the market has changed, it's a little bit easier for hair and makeup people to navigate to where they want to be. Now I feel like, okay, I could not only teach technique, but teach the business side of beauty. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I told you earlier, my family was like, why are you a makeup artist? You went to college, spent thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe 100, on education, but you're a makeup artist? And it's my mission to show, like, you can make money and make this a career. You could be an expert in this, make 6 figures or more. I know makeup artists that are millionaires.
Right.
Flying private, teaching master classes. Like, this is a career. So Create is up and running to facilitate that education. As far as my after-school program, my after-school program is a driving force of pushing education into our future.
I'm your host, Tila Shore. Thanks for checking out a new episode of From the Ground Up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification button to be notified of future shows.